Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Radical Love with Ains and Lex.
I'm Ains.
And I'm Lex, and today we're going to continue again with our Sermon on the Mount series. Ayo.
This is such a long passage. We could be doing this for months.
Literally a year.
We did start in chapter 7, so
That's true.
We're coming closer to an end now.
I know. Except today we're only doing verses 21 to 23. Just doing little by little. I feel like, okay, to be fair, I feel like I'm actually really learning, like, a lot.
Yay.
Taking it little by little, you know? Like, it's just as much for me as it is for the audience.
That's the Rad Love mission right there. That is
yes. Oh, yes, but we always start with Rose Webthorn, so Ains, you can go first?
Yes, I can start. So, Rose, I don't know. Things have been good. Has anything really happened since we last recorded?
So.
Nothing of substance for me. It's just been fine. I think a lot of my finals have gone well, or at least I've been staying productive. I really thought I would lose some steam after maybe like final number 2, final number 3. But we now have submitted 5, either taken 4 finals and then submitted 1 take-home exam. Only got 1 left, and I'm still going strong. So I'm like very proud of myself.
Yeah.
And I think I did well on a lot of them. Some of them, no idea, but I think it went well. I don't know. One of them is 25 multiple choice questions, and that's our whole final. And then our whole midterm was 25 multiple choice questions, and that is our whole grade, is those 50 multiple choice questions. So each question is 2% of your grade.
That's literally ridiculous to me. It's so ridiculous.
That is a bit redonk. I agree. Initially, when I read the syllabus, I was like, oh, sweet, so easy. And then you get there and they throw in those all of the aboves, and you're like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Me wrongly guessing all of the above or the answer I feel very confident in, that's actually makes a big difference. So that's kind of tragic, but I think that went okay. I studied as much as I really could have. And then not Thursday. I meant to say Thorn. So I don't know what just happened. Thorn is, just so everyone knows going into this story, should I tell you how it ends first, or do you want the suspense?
The suspense.
Okay.
Always the suspense.
Thorn, I'm taking my New Testament exam. It's on Canvas, and I'm taking it on Monday morning. 10:30 to 12:30 is our time to take it, and we're in the classroom. So it's on Canvas, but we're in person.
That's how mine is
later. Yeah, it's noon, so it's been an hour and a half. And the format of the exam is there's like 10 matching questions. So it's like 5 quotes, and then you have to say which book of the Bible it comes from, New Testament. Which book of the New Testament? Let me clarify. And then it's like 5 themes, and you have to say what theme matches which New Testament book. And I did not do very well on that section. Aww. But I did know the quotes. The quotes low-key were like not hard. They would have been hard, but I studied a lot. I don't think I really studied that much for a test, like, ever. I don't know. I'm not a big studier. I don't like sitting. Hurts my butt. I just am not like a huge fan. But that one I really studied for a very long time. I mean, I went through literally an entire New Testament and made a 23-page study guide. So
holy.
Yeah. I worked really hard on studying, and I think I did well. However, so there were short answer questions. So like 6 of those. Some of them were really short. Some of them were more like a couple sentences, maybe a short paragraph. And then there were 3 long answer, which were about a page long each. And so I'm doing my little essay, and then Chrome isn't working when I'm clicking it. And I'm like, okay, calm down. Like, she's just taking a breather. It's not a problem. And a few moments, it'll just like work again. I just need to wait. But then Chrome shuts down. And I'm like, crap. Then my computer restarts. And I'm like, what do I do right now? But Canvas says it saves things, right? So I'm like, it's saved. Don't freak out. Low-key proud of myself again, because I kept my cool.
Good.
Until when the computer restarts and it says your tabs did not shut down correctly, would you like to restore them or whatever? And I hit yes, restore, and everything was blank.
Did you tell your teacher?
So yeah, so then I started like laughing, because that's just how I handle bad situations. Like, this would happen a lot when my parents would yell at me, is I would just like laugh, because I would just feel awkward, and I'd be like, this is so uncomfortable. And then obviously that only makes them more upset.
Yeah.
But for this one, I'm just laughing. And my friend next to me, he's like, no. And I'm like, what do I even do right now? Like,
Mhm.
how do I proceed? Because there's 30 minutes left to do what I
Mhm.
just took an hour and a half doing. And I was like kind of cooking. Like I wasn't taking my sweet time. So
Mhm.
then go down and I'm trying to keep my cool, whatever. But then once I am trying to explain the situation to the professor, that's when kind of I break down a bit. So I'm
Yeah.
not actually fully crying. It's more just like my eyes are teary, but
Right.
my voice is cracking. And I did one of these
Aw.
numbers. I did a little like I'm like
Aw.
really like not well. And he's like, oh no. And I'm like, it's all gone. And he was like, oh no. And I was like, yeah, my computer restarted. Like, what? He was like, oh, don't cry. And I was like, oh, I cried everything. Like, it's fine. And then he was like, it's okay. And I was like, well, how long do you want my long answers to be? Because I obviously like I don't have time to write a page now.
Right.
And so then I'm looking and I'm like, wait, my matching answers were saved, but not my
Oh, good.
answers. So I'm like, maybe something glitched and they're in like white ink or like one size
Oh,
font
yeah,
and I just
yeah,
can't see
yeah.
it. So I'm like control A and like trying to highlight and
Yeah.
there's just nothing there. There's
Oh.
no answers. So I'm like, it says it's saved. Like I'm so PO'd right now. Where
Yeah.
is it? Like, what the heck? And he's like, and I'm like, now it's been a few minutes. Like this process, it didn't take a lot, but it took like 3 minutes. And so I
Mhm.
go from having like 28 minutes to like 25-ish. Like
Right.
and I'm like, okay, well, I need like an answer ASAP so I can at least do this. Cause I'm like, I don't want to be here for another hour and a half. I'm just like,
Mhm.
I don't want to be taking this exam any longer than I need to. But I also don't want to have really bad answers and get docked for it. So I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't really know what to do here because it's unfair if like I have to do less work than other people, but also it would be unfair if I had the same amount of time to do it twice.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, how do we proceed? So then I'm like, it says it's saved. Like, could it be saved on your computer? He's like, oh, let me look. I've never done a test on Canvas before. She's looking, going, and is like, no, not here, not here. And it's just like, not any places. And he's like, well, is this what you wrote for the Gospel of Matthew? And I said, oh, it is. And so he had my saved answers. So it all worked out fine. So he sent
Oh,
me a
thank
Word
goodness.
document of all my responses. So I just had to like copy and paste them into Canvas from there.
Uh-huh.
And they were super weird and I don't know, like Cody, I guess is the word. So instead of there being like an apostrophe, it would be like $sign, question mark, dash. Because it
Oh.
would get all weird whenever I
Yeah.
would use not letters. Or like when I wrote
Mhm.
an M dash, it would say like M dash with like and symbols. So it's
Mhm.
just I don't really know how to describe that. So all I did was copy and paste it, turn it back into like normal writing.
Mhm.
And then I was like, I'm done with this. It was like 12:26. And I was like, peace out, people. I'm not checking my answers. They're as good as they're gonna get. Like I'm
Yeah.
not in the mood anymore. So that was, I mean, it totally ended up fine. And like overall, I wouldn't even say it was that bad because it totally ended up fine. But that was like a very stressful few minutes.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
kept my cool way better than I thought I would have. I told
Good
my
job.
dad and he's like, wow, you did so much better than I would expect. And I was like, I know. I didn't do great. Like I wasn't like totally calm, but I don't know how you could be because it was
Right.
25% of my grade. Like, you know, it was high stakes. And then Bud, I'm excited to be finished. Mostly I'm really excited to
Mhm.
see my dad tomorrow.
Yay.
I'm like, it's weird because with finals, like people last Friday, were moving out. And I was like, the end is technically in sight for me, but also I have like 5 exams left to do. So I'm like,
Mhm.
mentally, I'm just now starting to realize I'm leaving soon because
Mhm.
Caitlin moved out and my other roommate Jill moved out. So our common room, we have the only furniture we have left is a TV stand and a Keurig. And the Wii, but we don't have the TV for the Wii. We don't have
Oh
any
gosh.
fridges. We don't have futon. We don't have a rug.
Yeah.
And then Caitlin's gone, so a whole half my room is like totally naked, and she lets me store stuff with her. So all my decor is gone. I have a lot of like cute decorative pillows. They're all gone. My mattress pad is gone, which that was a rude awakening.
That's the
My
worst
bed,
part.
I've realized my mattress pad's really good because normally I get in bed and I'm like hee hee hee. And like last night I did my same little hop into bed from the second to top rung of the ladder and I was like, oh, firm. So yeah, I'm excited. And Lex, I'll see you so soon,
Hey,
which is crazy
what? I
because you'll
know.
be like home before me. And oh,
Yeah,
I get to
that's
see my
wild.
dogs too.
The dogs.
Yeah, I'm
The
just excited
dogs.
to have like some time off. And I hope it's
Mhm.
boiling hot when I get home so I can just go out in the sun. Yeah, that's my plan.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, my rose. Just like you, it's been just like not much has happened. It was a good time home with
Nothing.
the dogs.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Something I do have to recommend to like everyone on Disney Plus. I watched Mulan last Friday, as I told everyone I was going to. And then I watched this shorts called Scrat Tales. So it's like Scrat is the squirrel in Ice Age who's obsessed with his acorn.
Mhm.
And they're so cute. There's like a baby Scrat
Aw.
and it has big animated glassy eyeballs. And then on the last, so there's 6 of them and they're each like 4 minutes. And the
Mhm.
last one I cried during it because it was so
Aw.
adorable. So I highly recommend. They're kind of weird. Kids humor is just kind of like weird sometimes, but
Right.
they're so cute.
Oh,
So
if I had
I just
Disney
thought I
Plus,
just
I would
had to
watch it,
recommend.
but I don't have Disney Plus.
I also don't have Disney. Fun fact about me,
Wait,
in case
what?
anyone didn't know it, I mooch so hard. So at home we have David's account. So every time I log in when David's there, I'm like, close your eyes, haha. Because yeah, we are David. And then here between the roommates, we all have
Oh, that's
different
fair.
accounts.
Mhm.
It's so cute though. You can watch it at my house on
Okay, I'll watch it
David's
at your
account,
house.
not on the Hershey
On David's
account.
account. On David's account. That's so funny. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of my week. Oh, something did happen. This is a good thing. It's technically temporary, but I did get a tattoo of my favorite Bible verses. Y'all know I've talked about it before. It's a special ink, so it'll like fade completely away after like 9 to 12 months. But it is Joshua 1 verses 5 and 9. So like that's written out. Like it's not all written out, and then there's a cross under it. But it's my dad and my mom's handwriting and my brother's. So it actually is like very precious.
Who did which part?
My dad did the Joshua because his
That
handwriting is way better than my mom's. Everyone, she's not even gonna be offended, but it's just it's factual. And then my mom did the numbers. She actually did a really good job with the numbers. And then AJ did the cross. So it's like Joshua 1, 5, and 9, and then like a long cross underneath it. And yeah, it's just like really sweet and sentimental. And I was like, it's not that much of a commitment level, you know? So like it's only a year, whatever.
Do you think it'll fade the way it's supposed to? Because I know like a lot of people who have stick and pokes that were supposed to go away in like 6 months, but then
okay, it's a
lasted,
lot
like,
different than a
bajillion
stick
years.
and poke.
I know, or
It's
like,
a
but
lot
there's
different.
well, like there's I don't know. I would be like way too scared. Like, how long has this ink been around?
So they have like the reason why I got mine is because like they're coming to Atlanta, but they have other locations in New York, so it's like it's a reputable place.
No, I'm not saying it's like some
Oh, no, I
random
know, I
like
know.
basement stick
Oh,
and
yeah.
poke at senior sleepover. I'm just like I would like I don't know. I'm also scared. I don't really like commitment of like very many sorts. So I would be
Mhm.
like, if this lasts longer than it's supposed to, I'd be quaking in my boots. But if
That's
you like
so
it,
funny.
then because a year is still like that means you have to
It's
like
still-
it. So even if
yeah,
it
oh,
stays
yeah.
like a year and a half, like that's still a reasonable like
Yeah. I know, but I was like a year if I like it, maybe. But it hurt, so I don't know.
it looked when you sent me that picture, I was like, her skin looks like it's like engraved, kind of like it
Because
looks like it's
the only thing
deeper.
that's different is the ink. Like it's not like it was still like a tattoo gun the whole 9. But yeah, so now I have my family with me, Jesus with me, literally at all times. And
that
then,
is nice, the family aspect.
right? And then my thorn, just school stress. Like my room. Yes, my bed is made. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see that. But the rest of it is a complete disaster because I'm moving out later. But it does go with my bud too. Like I'm so excited to be done. I'm so excited to just have a little change of scenery. I'm really sad to leave my roommates. Like we're all very sad. It's kind of hitting us. But just to start like a new chapter this summer. Y'all know I've been so excited for Caldies and everything. So and look at
Do you have to move all your stuff out since you are going to be moving back in there? So is it just your clothes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Which is very nice.
nice.
It's very nice. Someone wanted a sublease from me, but I found this out yesterday. So
Oh,
I don't think I can. It's too quick of a turnaround.
that's way too much. Yeah, that's way too much too fast.
Yeah, so just like clothes, toiletries, and all that. Like pictures are staying, nightstand is staying. I'm at my
Bedding
desk right
staying.
now. Yeah. So like
Cool.
I'm leaving it like that. We're gonna call it
And
a day.
isn't a lot of the furniture given to you like by the apartment? Like,
Yeah. So
how
like
much of
my
your
bed
living room
frame,
stuff?
well, we're all staying. So like none of us have to technically move out. I mean, Molly does because she's subleasing, but like
like,
living room stuff,
Is your
couch,
couch, is
TV,
that yours or?
TV stand, no.
Wow, that's so nice. That all
Kitchen
of that.
stools. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It was never any big furniture.
Oh, that's really nice. So even if you did have to move out, it wouldn't be like
Right.
big stuff.
Right.
Moving a futon is so annoying because
Oh,
they
yeah.
always fold. They just
Oh, I would never.
fold.
I would, yeah, no.
Happened
The only thing that's
yesterday.
big is the bar cart, but that's mine. So then I get to take that whenever I get my first apartment.
Yay, exciting. That's really exciting.
Yes. Okay, but we have something else really
Yes.
exciting. So if y'all follow us on Instagram at Radical Love Podcast, you knew that we did a giveaway this week. It'll be closed by the time this episode goes out. Sorry, but we had the pleasure of working with Kingdom Fire. They are a small husband and wife run business out of Indianapolis, Indiana, and their mission is to spread the word of God, encourage and serve communities while providing a clean burning, long-lasting, fragrant soy candle.
And what's really awesome is that for each candle sold, they donate one personal hygiene kit to a homeless shelter in need. So this month's donations will benefit Wheeler Mission in Indianapolis, which is a Christ-centered ministry that serves those struggling with homelessness, hunger, and addiction. The candles, so if you guys check out our Insta, like we totally went full promo, but they smell so good. And yeah, I needed it to smell good because I don't know why the room is like gross now that we're moving out. Like the floor, we're like, where are these crumbs? Like, where's all that? So it's been really great. But also on the record, I have not burned it because I live in a dorm. So
yeah, we don't want her to get
allowed.
Me, on the other hand, well, technically candles probably are not allowed, but me and Caroline especially are like literally obsessed with candles. We buy them all the time. We burn them all the time. So I have burned mine and they're so good. Like literally so good. The cashmere cedar is my personal favorite. It's just so like warm and cozy. And I can't get over it. And then the white tea ginger is more like springy, summery.
Springy, summery.
It is.
Yeah, it's good.
My mom already bought some because she was like, she got so excited. So, and she's going to give some as gifts. So perfect gifts.
Yeah. And if y'all are going to be buying them.
Hey, yeah. So you can check them out at shopkingdomfire.com and follow them on Instagram at shopkingdomfire.
And when you check out, guys, we are officially influencers. We are totally legitimate. We are living our career dreams. But definitely use code RADLOVE, all caps, at checkout for 10% off your order. RADLOVE, baby. RADLOVE.
So exciting.
And 10% off. Like that's a great deal. They're super cute. And it's great too because I don't know a lot of candles that have like they're cute phrases on the outside.
Yes.
I really like the Easter. Oh my gosh, so funny. So they have a candle that says Telestai, which I didn't know what that meant. It's it is done in Greek. And so funny is on my New Testament quiz, we had a transliteration to go from the Greek alphabet to the English alphabet, and the word turned out to be Telestai. So now I'm like, I should totally
so cool.
Totally get that candle now. But I like the Easter collection. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, they're very good. It's just an amazing way to keep, a little piece of Jesus around, which is amazing. Okay, Ains, I butchered our reading last time, so will you do it this time?
Yeah, so this first one is which version of Le Bible?
That one is the one that you normally, is it? Yeah.
The New Revised Standard Version? And
I think so. It should be.
Okay.
I do know for sure that the second version is the one I read, which is ESV, English Standard Version.
We can read that one today. Let's go. I Never Knew You.
Okay.
So as always, the descriptions of the verses are totally different between the different editions, but so it says, not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. On that day, many will say to me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name? Prophesy? I don't really know how to say that one. Okay, anyways, did we not prophesy in your name and cast out demons in your name and do many mighty works in your name? And then I will declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness.
This passage, it's really like, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not beating around the bush. It's just calling us out. I love the description that goes with the other version of true and false disciples. It's just very, very convicting. But yeah, whenever I was going over this one again, it just really kind of shook me and was like, okay, Lex, like, are you actually living by how you're supposed to, by what you say, by, you know, what you do? Like, do your actions line up with your words? It's a tough thing, and it's a tough thing to reflect upon because it's hard to call yourself out or to like realize that you're not doing stuff as well as you could.
This is definitely a passage that's not gonna like sit easy. That's not the point. Yeah. I think the interesting part about it is something that's like hard for me to grapple with, that's more of like a theme, not totally based on like one part of this passage, is trying to understand like God's mercy and realizing that like mercy is not inconsistent with justice. And obviously I don't really know who's going to heaven, who's going to hell, who's going to purgatory. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. That's like the whole point, is that we don't really know, and that God is the judge. But I think it is hard, like between each person, between each denomination, honestly, between each person. Like, I think this varies a lot for people's personal faith on like what you need to be a good Christian. And I know that's like a problem a lot of people have with the Catholic faith, is that it emphasizes works and like tradition and like doing things so much that people think it like strips the importance of actual faith from just the deed of like going to church. You just have to go to church and do the right things and then you'll be fine, but it doesn't actually matter if you really truly believe. I think that one's tough because I'm like, but would you do those things if you like didn't believe at all? Maybe not. But then like if you're going and you are going through a rough time where you don't really believe, but you're still going to church, like I feel like that's better than saying like, I don't really believe, so I'm not going to go to mass. Like, I'd say it's probably better to go to mass than to not, which I'd say probably most people agree with too. I think that one just in general is really tough for me to understand. And just realizing like, yes, God is very merciful. Jesus' plan of salvation extends to all people, but there's still the task that we have to complete with our lives, with like our faith, and I believe with our deeds as well. Yeah, and I especially like verse like 22, how it's saying the people, they prophesied or prophesied. It's definitely not prophesied, it's prophesied. Maybe of those two options, I would guess it would be prophesied. Anyways, prophesized, actually, whatever, I don't know. Okay,
but it's weird because it doesn't like have the extra ending.
Yeah, I don't know.
I also don't know.
I don't know. But like they did that. They casted out demons. They did many mighty works. So they're doing like good things. They're doing the things that are like a stamp of someone of faith. And they say like, Lord, Lord. So they say that they have faith. They say that they believe like Jesus is Lord, but that's not enough. And I think that's kind of something interesting, is realizing it's not just that your actions have to align with your words, but that your words have to align with like your heart as well. That it is
that's
like
good. It's
so deep. Like there's so many factors at play in this like very short passage.
No, I agree. What you said is exactly one of the struggles over the last few weeks with faith that I've been trying to figure out, is that same thing. Like, because certain denominations say like faith alone, and then growing up Catholic, it was like faith and works. And I just like, it's so hard because I understand where it comes from on both sides, because when you say faith alone, like you're putting all of the power in God, and like acknowledging like his sovereignty and his authority and his power, and like what he did by dying on the cross for Easter. But also I feel like then it allows us to fall into the like, oh, but then I can do whatever I want because, oh, then I'll just apologize, or like then I'll repent and it'll be fine. So like that's the hard thing. Like whenever I think of that, it's when I think of like whenever my mom will like call me out for not doing something, like say I didn't do the dishes or yada yada yada, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, and she was like, well, like you always just assume like if you say like, oh, I'm sorry right after, like it'll be fine. But then on the other spectrum, I still do think I think it's one of those things like growing up Catholic, I will never be able to not, oh my gosh, again with my like triple negatives. It's gonna sound so weird. I will always value the importance, like you said, of like doing the good works, because I think it's also important, like we need to serve and we need to like be good people and like put in the effort of, yes, like going to mass and going to church. Like I think that is important. So it's just such a hard, it's such a hard balance. But then it like reminds me of the passage, I don't know exactly where in the Bible it is, but it's like go into your room and pray like alone, so that like no one else is seeing, like not even your left hand is seeing what your right hand is doing. So it's like I feel like that passage is what keeps like the works in correct alignment, because I think that's where the line gets blurry with Catholicism. Like I've noticed it in myself, like when I was younger, a lot more of like I would do a lot more service work just because like I thought it'd make me look better. And like that's the issue. Like that is at the heart of the issue, because we're gonna get into this in a later episode, everyone. Christ-centered service. This is not intentional. But like it's a problem if we're doing the works for ourselves versus like the glory of God. And so like there's just a lot of blurry lines everywhere that it's so difficult, and it doesn't make this passage any easier.
Yeah, 100%. And I think too, like if you're not doing all these great things, like for example, in this passage, casting out demons and doing many mighty works. I don't really know a lot of us who cast out demons in our day-to-day life anymore, but whatever the like more modern equivalent of something like that is, like if you're not doing those deeds that are associated with being like a good person of faith, are you even like I feel like with the whole faith and works thing, like works is somehow incorporated. It's just like whether like what is it contingent upon? I also am speaking for myself right now that it's not based on any sort of like official thought, but I'm like, I feel like works matter. It just depends on how you think it fits in. I think the part that's like the thing that's really interesting for me about this is like, and I believe the reason why works may be so emphasized in Catholicism is because faith is so personal. It's like my individual faith, like I have faith and then I am saved. And like you want to bring other people into that, but it's kind of each person almost for themselves in that way because it is so personal. But with Catholicism, I mean, one of the core tenets of the belief is the communion of saints. And like salvation is like very social, and like going to mass isn't just so like you can go to mass. It's so that the community is together and that you're all together. So like works are incorporated into that because you need to be like doing things for what will become like the communion of saints. You need to be doing things like for the community and for the church. And, I think that's kind of an interesting aspect of it. It's just like, it's something I've really learned throughout this semester is the social nature of Catholic salvation. And it's not just about like my personal faith. I think that's very interesting. And obviously some people love it. Some people really hate it. So
I also think like Catholicism has gotten a bad rap. And I see it like coming down to Georgia too. Not many people are Catholic, and a lot of people will initially be, cut off a little bit just at first, because I feel like a lot of times Catholicism is initially associated with how it was back like hundreds and hundreds of years ago, where like you had to do good works. What was it? So that you could attain your salvation and like
Well,
your
yeah, like there were
freedom.
like
And like
indulgences and all
right,
that.
right. So like
Bogus, yeah.
that is like the church doesn't align with that anymore, you know? So it's like if that was the issue, like obviously those types of works, like that's not how it works. So it's just hard. It's a hard balance to know like what exactly is right. This is why I need Jesus right here to tell me.
You got Jesus imprinted on your side now, so
I do. That's true.
maybe all of the Jesus wisdom will just osmosis its way into your body.
You used osmosis last week.
I don't know why. I honestly, it does not feel like a week ago. It feels like 2 days ago. So
It kind of was. It kind of was. But in the spirit of Easter, it's still the Easter season, right? Technically, yeah. For how many more weeks? I don't know. A few more weeks. What I've been trying to do, especially after, reading this passage, is like, I've always just loved the gift that we have of like every single day is a new day. And like, I just think that's so special. Like we get to wake up, the gift of a fresh start, and especially with Easter. My aunt and I were really talking about like how that fits in. And like my phone, sorry. And how like every like it's almost like a rebirth, especially like during the Easter season, and like a clean slate, a fresh start. So I've been trying to think every morning, like while I'm doing my morning routine, just like a reflection on like how I can be a better version of myself today. Like where did I fall short in yesterday, and where I can change, especially when Lent ended and I was still doing my Bible study and I slacked a little bit. So then the days where I like didn't do it that day before, I'm like, okay, you really gotta you got to do it, be dedicated, be disciplined. And it's not like some crazy thing where I'm like sitting in bed journaling for an hour in the morning. It's like while I'm brushing my teeth, doing my hair, like I'm doing a little reflection.
Love it. Hey, like getting both done at the same time.
So yeah.
That's really nice. I think that sort of reflection is very important. I'm more of a reflection at nighttime kind of person. So I like to think like 3 things I did well, 1 thing I want to improve on, and then like a concrete way I can change that for the next day. That, if anyone wants
really
like
good.
my tips that I've not come up with myself, like this is hugely from like therapy and then from the sports psychologist. I still see like if you're going to try to change something, to just be like, oh, I'm going to get better at this, or I'm going to do this, like make a concrete, very obtainable thing. So it'd be like, I'm going to exercise for 30 minutes 3 times this week or something. Like, don't just say I'm going to exercise more. I think, I don't know, this is totally off topic, but that's something that has really helped me like actually get better at things, is having like a very solid goal for the next day. Like yesterday I didn't do like the reflection I was supposed to do, like the Bible study. So I guess that one's kind of you have to do it. So it's kind of like it gives you the guidelines for you. Like I'll do it today. But say you wanted to like go through the Bible, be like, I'm gonna read 3 chapters or something. Yeah. Concrete
like
numbers,
specific. Yeah.
Specificity is really
and
good.
they make it
for me
attainable, and it's almost like checking off like a to-do list, like being able to like actually be like, okay, yes, I accomplished that, and like put the
always nice. We love accomplishing things. Crossing them off the list. 100%.
Oh yeah, we do. Oh yes. And do you have anything else for us?
Just in general, this passage, I think it really challenges us to like look at, okay, so we say Lord, Lord, and we're like, please, like I believe in you. And then we're like, oh, and I did these nice things for you. But did we actually? And do we actually? And I think that's really hard. Like, as with every episode, only and that's the hard part, is because people can say whatever, they can try to help you, whatever, but only each of us knows. And it's going to go up and down throughout our life, whether we're doing things for the right reason. But I think, keep trying to do the right things. And I think as long as you don't like give up and run away from the problems of like faith or acting the way you're supposed to, I think that's a step in the right direction, even if not like the best thing.
No, I totally agree. It's like we say it all the time, like only you know. I feel like this is like a very like an internal reflection passage that like you're gonna have to deal with and like reflect upon, and just like you said, like figure out your intentions, because you can do all the things, but if they're not for the right reasons, it's a little sticky.
Yeah, 100%. And Jesus said it first, baby.
Jesus said it first, always. Okay, well, we still got more to go in this passage. It'll be a few more weeks, but we do have a few other exciting episodes coming up. So stay on the lookout every Saturday. Follow us at Radical Love Podcast on Instagram. Follow Kingdom Fire at Shop Kingdom Fire.
Use our code RADLOVE for 10% off.
All right, bye y'all.